All right, welcome back. It's the Breakfast Daily, and the show is interactive. We want to hear from you throughout the show, and lots of interesting things that are happening on the show today. Well, the hashtag is Breakfast Daily on our social media streams. If you're watching there, and on regular TV, you can send us a message. The WhatsApp line is 0550-585832. I want to say good morning to Apiorkor, who's just joined me on the show. Hi.
Hi, David.
How are you?
I'm well. How are you?
I'm really good.
Good morning,
thank
everyone. I hope you're having a beautiful Friday morning. It's
Yep.
the weekend.
It is the
It's the
weekend.
weekend.
Exactly. Now, we're going to be talking about World Vegan Day, which happens to fall on November 1st. And we've been joined...
That's next Tuesday.
Yes. And we've been joined on the set this morning by two wonderful ladies. We have Nataki Kambon and her niece, Kambon, and they are both vegans. And we're going to be getting into the conversation about veganism. Good morning to both of you.
Good morning, ladies.
How are you?
It's so good to see you all.
It's good
We're
to
great
see
this
you.
morning.
It's good to have you here.
Yes.
All right, so... Yes.
Go
ahead. No, you go ahead. You go ahead.
You know, but Tuesday is World Vegan Day. Yes. And I remember when the whole concept of veganism began to pick up popularity. Oh, people, what's that? What's the difference between a vegan and a vegetarian? Right. And so I'll start with that question. Okay. What is the difference? Is there a difference between a vegan and a vegetarian?
Okay.
Chef, you want to go?
Yeah.
Yes, she's a chef. This is Chef Amma. She's a child chef. So, hi.
Hi. So to answer your question, vegans tend to be more strict with their diets as opposed to vegetarians. But it's really just food. It's really just delicious food. We'll have you all taste some today, just to prove it.
Wonderful.
Yeah. So vegans, if I can add on to it, so vegetarian, the definition is people who don't eat meat. And so there are a lot of things that don't qualify as meat. So whereas vegan is someone who doesn't consume any animal products. Okay. So if you think of that, that includes milk, it includes fish, it excludes a lot of things. Dairy. But it also includes a lot of things because there are hundreds of varieties of rice and lettuce and beans and you've got all different kinds of things. So yeah, that's the difference.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
And Chef Amma, you've never eaten meat before.
No, I haven't.
Oh my! How old are you?
I'm 14.
You've never eaten meat.
No.
Wow.
I also have not eaten meat, but we are not going to talk about my age.
Let me put that out there. So you're a lifelong vegan.
Lifelong.
How did you get into the life? Was it that your parents are vegans as well? For you?
Yeah, and since she's my niece, I guess I can talk about her grandparents. Yes. So I guess the quick story is my mother heard about vegetarianism and how the health challenges and all these different kinds of things. And when she met my dad, she was like, yeah, you know, I heard about how bad for your health meat is, and I'm thinking about going vegan, vegetarian, and my dad is a researcher. So, and this is before the internet, before anything, but he went and did his research, and he was like, we're going vegan. And she was like, no, I'm still eating chicken. But my dad, who, when he met her, he was like, I will never give up meat. I don't know what you're talking about. But yeah, so he was the one who really spearheaded it. And so when I was born and my brother, her father, were born, we never had it. And then I guess you and her 4 siblings, so there are 5 of them, have also been raised vegan.
That's interesting. Wow. And Nataki, you repatriated to Ghana recently. You're one of the, was it 400 or was it 150?
I think 126.
126 people who received Ghanaian citizenship. Oh. Yes, the year of return, and she decided to repatriate.
Okay.
Yes. Okay. So I'm saying this because I find it interesting. In the U.S., as an African American, meat is everything. The barbecues, July 4. What was it like growing up? I mean, did you have challenges adapting to the diet? Were there times when you had said to yourself, oh, let me just taste meat a little? Was it difficult finding interesting recipes before the internet came along?
Exactly.
You know?
Yeah, that's a great question. And I think because, there's a difference between the North and the South. So my parents are from New York, and a lot of black people in New York had so many different vegan foods that it was very easy. But when we moved to the South when I was 3 years old, it was a little bit challenging. But as I got older, it wasn't as much because you have so many companies now, even a lot of the major global brands that sell fast food and other things that have vegan products
versions
in the store.
Okay.
So growing up, there were vegan hot dogs. So my parents used to sponsor a lot of school activities, and they would bring the vegan hot dogs, and kids were like, I like these better. Or they would bring the cupcakes and the brownies. So sometimes people feel like, oh, well, your friends won't support it. But my friends were like, your parents bring the best food, so when are you going to have another party? So it actually worked out really well for me, and that's why I started cooking when I was little. So when Amma was born and around age 3, that was our thing to cook together.
So, Chef Amma, how did you become a child chef? And because it's one thing cooking with your cool auntie, obviously Nataki's a very cool auntie, but I mean, how did you become a professional chef? How did that happen?
So yes, it did start with my aunt, and then I moved to Ghana when I was 3, and I started cooking with my mom a lot. And then after that, I was like, oh, I want to make this my career. So at 5 years old, I started a cooking show on. I had a website, and I started a cooking show on that website for children who can just make healthy snacks. It's easy, it's simple, it's healthy. And then later on, I did some professional internships with a few restaurants in Ghana. One would be Ranit's Hideout, it's called, and the other one is Ainari. So I just did some professional internships, and I got to know what it's like to run a restaurant, not even just the food part.
Well, that's amazing. That's and of course
I'm like, wow, I feel like I wasted my childhood. 'Cause at 14, I wasn't even thinking like that.
It's amazing. And now you're doing vegan meals.
Yes.
Okay, so let's look at some of the meals that we have here. You brought some goodies for us, and you're going to teach us something. So let's get right into it. Is chef going to lead, or the auntie who started off the chef in life is going to lead?
Well, I wanted to lead because this is vegan food, right? So that's what we're going to eat today is
So we've got
salad.
lettuce in there.
Just kidding. Just kidding. We're not going to just...
So,
But I say that because a lot of people assume that
Yeah.
vegan food is
It's-
just eating leaves.
Yes,
It's like,
eating
oh,
leaves?
I can't be vegan because
you become
it's
so
just
Ghanaian.
leaves. It's only leaves. I need my banku, my fufu. Someone one time said, oh, I can't go vegan because I can't live without my wache every morning. And I said,
Wache is vegan.
Wache is vegan because the definition of vegan is just it doesn't have the animal products. So the wache leaves, the rice, the beans, you have vegan shito, so you can definitely have your wache every morning. So yeah.
Interesting. Wow. Okay, so let's get right into it.
Okay. So Chef Amma, you want to maybe prep the onions and yeah, let me hand you an onion.
Okay,
the
so
onions
the onions are here. We got some
and
tomatoes.
cut the
as
tomatoes
well.
and all that good stuff. And we can talk about what we have today.
Yeah, what
So,
do we
one of the things that
Chef, you can get right into
that
it.
hinders people is they feel like, oh, like I said, you have to give up something. But this isn't really about giving up something. Amma, do you want to speak to that?
So to the point about the wache, it already tastes good, and there's replacements that you can put for the meat that you have in the food that are actually really delicious, and it's healthy for you. It's not going to cause cancer. It's not going to give you a short lifespan. It's going to be delicious. It's going to be healthy. And you're not giving up anything. You're just adding on things to your diet.
Right.
So it's like there's restaurants coming in from like other places. Like there's Italian restaurants coming in. There's Chinese restaurants coming in. And people are trying this new food. And it's not like you can't, if you eat this Chinese food, you can't eat your wache. You can't eat your jollof, you can't eat your banku again. It's just you're adding more things. And even if you're not able to give up the unhealthy things, you can add these healthy things and they can balance it out.
Interesting.
Now, I have a question.
Yes.
I'm looking at something here.
Yes.
Yeah.
Is that tofu?
It is tofu.
Ah.
It is tofu.
Okay.
Made in Ghana.
It is
Yes.
made in Ghana.
'Cause
So we try and eat as
sometimes
much
I learned how to
local.
make tofu, you know.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yes,
Yeah.
in Ghana, it's actually quite simple. It's a simple
Yeah, I've
process.
never done it. It always, I'm like, it seems so complicated. So I'm like,
It's actually pretty interesting.
But I brought it to illustrate a point because when I was little, the first time I had tofu, I was like 7, and my
Okay.
mother took it out of this package and she sliced it and put it on a plate and
And
gave
that
it
was
to
it.
us all. And we were like, "This is the most disgusting thing I have ever tasted. Don't bring that back in this house again. I don't know what that is." And I think it speaks to why some people think that vegan food is not good because you can't just take a raw item like raw chicken
Exactly.
and
guess that-
put it on a plate
yeah.
and have people eat it.
Yeah.
They'll be like, "This is gross." So to get tofu to taste good, you have to season it, you have to marinate it. So we brought for
Give
you
it
all
some love.
today, yeah, exactly, some barbecue
Oh.
tofu.
Okay.
So this is sliced, not just sliced and put on a plate. This is sliced. It's marinated in 2 different marinades,
Okay.
and then it's marinated again, and then lightly sautéed with onions and barbecue
Oh,
sauce.
you brought the
Okay.
American South
So-
tofu in Ghana.
So listen, let's get into this.
Right.
business now. So what typically would you be using to marinate?
Yeah, so the same spices that we're already used to. So the beautiful thing about living in Ghana is that we have so many amazing spices here, and the same spices that you can use to make your red stew are the spices that you can marinate your tofu in.
Okay.
And you don't have to put barbecue sauce. You could actually do the tofu in the red sauce. So you have some people who are vegan or who just enjoy less meat in their food who say, "Oh yeah, I want to," if sometimes the doctor says give up meat, or sometimes we get a lot of people who said, "I actually prefer it without the meat, but I just want something filling."
Yeah.
And so this is a good way to do that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Add some
So what
chilies.
spices did you use for this? Like, if you can
This
run through
has,
some of them.
pureed onions, garlic, some curry powder, some a little bit of turmeric, some garden herbs like your sage and thyme and rosemary,
Okay.
definitely parsley and basil.
Yeah.
So all the same kinds of things you would put in your stew.
Yeah.
So that
there's a little bit
basil
of
is akuko mesa,
Yeah.
right? So they're all in there. Interesting.
and a little bit of, and I can't say it, y'all gonna laugh at me, paposhito.
Oh, but
Yeah.
you did
That's
pretty
it.
well.
That's what it is.
Upper
That's
sheet
what
top.
it is.
Yeah, just to give
Yes.
it a little bit of
Paprika.
flavor there, and then some black pepper.
Okay. Paprika in English is petit bell peppers.
Oh.
Petit bell. Yes.
So I only know the Ghanaian word for it.
Well, I like to put that out there because
Yeah, because
sometimes
people
when
know
you
it.
travel,
Yeah.
Right.
the ingredients are there,
Yeah,
and
but
you're
you
looking
don't-
for your
you don't
ingredients
know
from
that it's the
home,
same
but you
thing
don't know
that-
it's the same.
Right.
You know.
Right.
Yeah. That's
Fantastic.
interesting. Oh, that's brilliant. And then what's going with the?
So we
barbecue
just did
tofu?
plain rice. A lot of times when we have people sample, we do the plain rice. So when we're cooking for other people, we hook the rice up with the flavors. But we do plain rice just so you can really focus on the flavor of the central item. So just plain Ghana made rice.
Love it.
Good,
We're gonna
good.
keep our
Like it,
keep
like it.
our food with the farmers in Ghana. So yeah, that's the barbecue tofu. And again, you could do this exact same thing in the same red stew you would do for jollof. You could do it with a curry stew. There's a sister who does this. She actually chops it into chunks and puts it in her contomere.
Okay.
So instead of
So it
having
gives you the
Kobe
chunky
or,
feeling of
or
meat.
Exactly.
goats in there, you have
Exactly.
tofu chunks. Oh,
Exactly.
wonderful.
Exactly.
Wow.
Listen,
Well,
yeah,
we
I
need
wanna
to dig
taste
into
it.
this.
I want to taste it.
David is like, we're talking too much.
Yeah,
I want
that's
to.
what I'm talking about.
No, but we can continue. So
Okay.
yeah.
So while we're doing that, we can maybe make a wrap.
Okay.
You have it on the plate with the rice, but this is also really good in a sandwich.
Okay.
So some people want, they want the rices or those kinds of things. Some people really like stews. Other people like sandwiches or wraps. And the bun is a lot of bread.
Yeah.
And a lot of us recognize that too much bread is too much. So sometimes if you do a wrap, you get the same kind of bready feeling without all the bread. Ha ha ha.
Oh yeah, this is some good Ghana rice.
So,
Happy. Don't take too long there. Listen, advance it back in my direction. Got to do some more work here. You know one of the things I love about this show? We get to eat it.
I know.
Yeah.
Y'all have like the best jobs on the planet, right?
Wow. Wow. No, but so Chef Nataki, you need to join me on
What's
my
cooking,
cooking show.
right?
What's cooking?
Seriously.
We need to do this from scratch and really get our
Absolutely.
hands dirty one of these days. But, oh, this
Absolutely.
is brilliant.
And it's very hearty.
Like I don't know, so there's grilled chicken vibes, but at the same time there's grilled pork vibes. You know, this could easily do domedo.
No,
you know, we like our
listen.
grilled pork.
Listen, the conversation we're having, you guys do not even realize it, but if you were not told that this
Right.
was tofu
Yeah.
and it was in your food,
Yes.
you would just think it's like regular meat, chicken, or something. You'll be asking questions. This thing tastes very interesting. What meat?
And this is
it?
soy based.
It feels
Tofu is soy based.
like
Right.
everything that you're used to.
It's something
If I can
else.
tell a quick story, when I had a milestone birthday, again, we're not talking about my age, but I had a milestone birthday.
birthday. Okay.
And I had a party, and on one side of the room, there was a lot of salads and healthy looking food. And on the other side, there were the mini sausages in the barbecue sauce. There was some, you can actually make a chicken. It tastes like chicken with these kinds of things. And that was on the other side of the room. So all my friends who are vegan or vegetarian migrated to the other side of the room because they were like, I can't eat that.
Mm.
And my friends who are not, who eat
well,
meat,
the other side of
were on
the
the other side of the room, like, y'all can have that plant food, that rabbit food. Y'all can graze like cows and eat that, but we're gonna eat this. And at the end of the night, my father came out and he was like, it's so great. Only my daughter Nataki would have a party and cater it herself and make all of this great vegan food. And there were several of my friends who were like, that was vegan? So I even had, there was a beef pasta saute. And they were like, wow. And so again, I think sometimes people think that you can't have, if you have vegan food, it will not taste good. But if you're using the same herbs and spices and everything, you can. And
Because
so
that's
that's
really
why
the basis of it. It's the herbs
Exactly.
and spices.
Even
the meat takes on of course, they have their natural flavors, natural oils.
So
but
I
they
think-
take on the flavors
I
of
think
the
I would
spices.
admit that one of the things that sort of,
Wait, David, can you take your fork away?
one of the things that eats at me when I think of the possibility of saying that, listen, I'm going to go vegan, right? Is all this fullness in the mouth, chunky kind of feeling and everything else of meat. Am I really going to get rid of all of that forever? But this is it. This is
Right.
exactly that.
And so World Vegan Day is just about introducing people to this kind of thing because sometimes we just don't even realize what we're missing.
Yeah.
And my one friend who at the party was like, I'm so glad. He said, I started not to come to your party because I knew you weren't going to have any food. He was like, but I'm glad you actually brought some food for the rest of us. And so it was really funny. He came at the end of the night and he had one of the mini sausages. And he was like, how is this vegan? How is this vegan? And to this day, he actually started, he didn't go vegan, but he said about 50% of his diet now is plant-based.
So he started incorporating
And he lost
some
a lot
of
of
this.
weight. He started feeling good. And he was like, wow, your party did it for me. And I think this is just another opportunity for people to really eat and taste amazing things. We're asking people to take a healthy living challenge. Just one day, pick something. Pick
Listen.
lunch, dinner, anything.
Whatever you're going to do there, let's do it.
Go
now.
for it. Go
We
for
want
it.
to see this. We really want to see
You want to
this.
see or you want to eat it?
Same difference.
Yeah,
Okay.
I know.
So you got lettuce in there, our red onions.
So what's in the sauce? What's in the...
tomatoes.
This is a cheese sauce.
Yeah, this is a
Okay.
vegan cheese sauce. And surprisingly, it actually goes very well with this.
Okay, so I don't understand that. What you just said.
What is vegan
Vegan
cheese?
Right.
cheese.
So the cheese, most of us, we love the consistency of cheese. We want something that could melt. And if we had more time, we were actually going to do pizza for you guys. But we said, you know what, we wanted to bring this, so we didn't. But it's that creamy, a little bit of salty flavor.
Yeah.
It has a little bit of a fermented flavor, even though it's not fermented. And this same thing that you could do with a pasta or a rice. You could also do in a wrap. So Chef Alma just hooked us up. I'm the sauce girl, so I'm gonna add a little bit more sauce.
So am I. I don't mind. And I love cheese. So if it tastes like cheese,
Then we're good.
we're good.
Yeah.
And then we just wrap it.
So, what's in the cheese sauce?
Yeah, so it's made with seeds and nuts and onion. It has an onion base, so a lot of
I can get away with that.
I need to taste this cheese sauce. Chef Anna, could you please just put a little on this part of the fork for me? Yeah, don't worry.
So I'll cut little slivers so you
Great.
can.
Yeah.
Okay,
This
that's
is.
good.
And so this is good for parties even. If you don't want to give out, whole chunks of
Question
things.
is it
tastes like
not
cheese.
cheese?
And so I'll tell you, I was
Okay.
raised vegan, but
Is that
for
extra
several
tissue
years.
there?
Yeah. Sorry.
No, that's okay. Let me have that.
I was raised vegan, but my parents were worried, we want her to have similar experiences to other children. So for a while, they let us eat cheese. And I got so addicted to cheese that I was eating it all the time. But when I got to college and I learned about the health issues with the cheese and all those different kinds of things, and also even the animal side of it, like what they have to do to the cows and the bulls to get the cheese. And there's a high concentration of mucus in cheese. And it was just like, So I went back to being vegan, but I was always craving the cheese. And the good thing is you have these now, and now my cravings have gone away because there are these. And in other countries around the world, there are packages of vegan cheese that are so good. Like, I won't tell you how much money I used to spend on cheese, but there are packages of vegan cheese that are so good that they rival some of the Italian cheeses that we're
One
used
of
to.
the things I noticed traveling through Europe was
He didn't hook you up.
how
you did not.
how many vegan options there were in shops. Then you go
Yeah.
to a shopping
Everywhere.
a
There's
shopping
that-
mall,
that-
there's always
entire
vegan
sections.
options.
There are
Yes,
countries that are going vegan
everywhere.
now. So, like India is mostly vegan now. Israel and UK is pledged to go vegan in, I forget what year it is, by 20 something.
It's very interesting.
And it's not just the meat section.
Yeah.
So, or the dairy sections. When you go to the dry food sections,
Yeah.
there are vegan options.
Yeah, so I've seen that
everywhere.
because I saw that
You know?
you find that the effort to say we're going organic,
Exactly.
we're going vegan, we're
genetically modified free.
yeah, we're deliberately, moving in a certain direction, which means it's more natural, it's more healthy, and all of that. I think it's fantastic.
And the thing
But
is,
that thing, guys, you don't know what's going on.
so,
You don't know what's going on.
so we call these roti wraps. So you can either do it as a full sandwich, or you can do the little slivers. You put a little toothpick in it, and imagine how many people you can do at a party with just this. And it's very simple.
Yeah.
It's very simple. Just some marinated tofu, some onions, and
my
it's super
goodness.
easy.
So all you have is the flat
Flatbread,
bread.
and you can use
You
any
have
kind of bread. Yeah.
Onions, tomatoes,
Tomatoes.
lettuce,
And then
and
the
then
cheese
the
sauce.
cheese sauce.
But you can use any sauce. So don't feel like, I don't have it exactly like that. What sauce do you like? You can put that in there.
No,
and
but
you
the
can
cheese
have it-
sauce is very interesting because, I mean,
You don't normally think of pairing it with.
no.
You want to talk about this one? Can we? Can
Yeah, let's go ahead.
please.
Sure,
Because we
sure.
said,
What else
okay,
we have?
the international foods that people want to see. Well, how can you do those? Because
Yeah.
when you think of some of the international foods, you immediately think of meat.
Right.
But now you see that you can have other
Yeah,
things.
yeah.
But not everyone likes tofu. And then tofu does have a lot more estrogen, so men should not eat it every day. You can have it sparingly, but it's too much
that's why
estrogen.
they
Good
say the
information.
soy, the soy thing is not great for men.
Right,
If you do
right.
it too much.
Exactly. But this is thankfully organic, and we're not doing a ton of it. But we wanted to also do what kinds of dishes?
Some Ghanaian dishes like kontomire.
Let's take a look.
Okay.
All right.
So we have the. Go ahead, tell us what we have.
So we have kontomire. So just to make it not like international, instead of tofu, we decided to put in mushrooms, which are also very good and
Okay.
give that kind of meaty,
Yeah.
that you would normally have. And
Okay.
non-vegan contomere. And then there's also this,
Cabbage stew.
cabbage stew.
Oh, like our cabbage stew.
It's got caramelized onions, so it has this special taste to it. It's not the usual taste, but it's like our special taste.
Yeah.
Because what happens is sometimes because we eat so much tomato-based and so much starchy foods, that increases your blood sugar too much.
Yeah.
And for people who especially are like, you know, the diabetes is rampant in Ghana. But on a vegan and plant-based diet, you can almost avoid diabetes altogether. But you do have to make sure you're not just a starchitarian or a breaditarian. You do need to eat more vegetables. But with the cabbage stew and the caramelized onions and a little bit of the cinnamon, you're able to not have your blood sugar spike.
Well, yes.
Okay,
Right.
so I
that's some
think we
cinnamon
need
in
to
there.
get to the tasting part. Let's get to the tasting part.
Okay, they're extra forks. You can use the same one or a different one. And again, we always do plain rice when people are sampling, so you can really focus on the flavor
You
of
want me to go
the
first?
contomere.
Okay, so I'll do the contomere first. Right. Oh, I see the
like the
mushrooms,
show.
nice and chunky. And
Loving
you've
the
like
show today.
put chunks of the mushroom in there, so it actually looks like fish. It looks like there's either salmon or kobe in there. It's interesting.
So we were actually doing a tasting for some. So she has a tail on her show. If you ever notice, you can. I don't want to give away your tail. But when she likes something really,
You see
her
it in
eye
her
flutters
eyes, yeah.
and it rolls back in her head a little bit.
So-
when she just tastes it and just okay, she's like, okay, this is good. But when she likes it, that eye goes back. But we just did a tasting of some contomere for someone who's like, he said he got food poisoning. You know, he started eating plant-based and felt better, so he asked us to help him with some meals. And he tasted this contomere, and he was like, it tastes like it has seafood in it without the seafood.
Do you see that?
So he tasted the cabbage stew first. But yeah.
And he's a contemporary boss.
Okay. So yeah, this is the same contomere because again, people feel like, oh, if I eat something vegan, I have to give something up.
Yeah.
But what are some of the Ghanaian foods you make, Chef Ama?
I make jollof, I make contomere. I haven't perfected it yet, but I've been doing peanut soup for a while. I've been doing palm nut soup. So yeah.
You're really working.
Yes, she
She is.
You are.
So, and then,
You should have a vegan cookbook, right? Are you working at that? Something of the sort? Yeah.
As soon as I perfect my recipes, I think I'll be able to share them.
This is brilliant.
And we're doing, we've been planning, actually we were planning just before COVID to do some vegan cooking classes and trainings, but then COVID happened. But we are going to start doing that again. But for World Vegan Day, we are inviting people to take the vegan challenge. That I can share the URL is just nkwadria.com/challenge. And tell us about...
Nkwadria, which means the life tree.
Yeah, Tree of Life. Yes.
Tree of Life.
Thank you for correcting my cheat. I'm still working on it. But nkwadria.com/challenge, and all there is on that page is just a challenge about how you can eat different, and you can pick 1 day, 7 days, 30 days, and just try to incorporate different things in your diet and see how you feel.
Brilliant.
Because what you will notice is your skin starts to clear up. Go ahead.
I want to do this.
Yes.
But you're going to have to help me.
Okay.
Help us.
Okay.
Yeah. So the challenge is
Help us.
on.
The challenge is
Challenge
on.
is
challenge is
on.
on.
Yes.
And we want to say what is great is that this whole vegan food thing is picking up in Ghana. There's so many vegan restaurants popping up, some out of people's houses, some formal establishments. We were just at the mall yesterday at a vegan restaurant, Mahogany. There are all these places. And so we kind of gathered some places, so it doesn't have to be, if you don't know how to make this at home or you're scared, like, oh, I don't know.
Will it work? Will it
Yeah, try it from other places so you know how it tastes and how it can be, and then you can go home and try and do it yourself with the mushrooms. Again, these are locally grown mushrooms. And all of this came from farmers in Ghana.
Okay.
Love
Wow.
it.
All of it came from farmers in Ghana.
Love it.
Wow.
Love it.
beautiful.
Love it. Love it. Love it.
Yes.
Beautiful.
Huh.
I think in a 360
My
fashion.
morning is me.
This is everything that we've been talking about, you know, and it's everything that we need to be focusing on as a nation.
Exactly.
The direction we need to be going in, where we're growing locally everything we need.
Exactly.
It's healthy.
We're spending money with
We're spending
people
money
in our
and,
country.
and retaining the money here.
Exactly.
You know, all of that is happening right here, and everybody's.
And then we're
getting
eating
blessed.
healthier,
Yeah.
which, you know, not to take anything away from the healthcare system in Ghana, but people do ask, I think eating vegan is too expensive, it's too much, but it's
No, but I
actually
mean,
not. This is all the same.
And there's a tangerine in here.
Yeah. So if we had time, sometimes people think salad is boring. And I tell people salad is boring for the same reason if you just chop this tofu up and put it on your plate. But if you hook up your salad the way you hook up your other food and you sprinkle some spices on, you take a little bit of the olive oil and the vinegar, mix in some of the spices, add a little salt and pepper, and you put that on your salad, maybe with some sesame seeds or some marinated mushrooms or some tofu, you will love salad. You will love salad.
Fantastic. Thank you.
So yes.
Thank you.
you so
Thank you for
much.
sharing this
Look,
with us.
you've made
It's a
my morning.
fantastic experience.
You know, I have tears of joy in my eyes.
I was like, is she crying?
Like, it's just, you know, because we've been having all these conversations as well about elevating Ghanaian food and, you know, just to see that even in a sphere of life, in terms of diets, a vegan lifestyle, where people would say, look, you can't be Ghanaian and be vegan.
Yeah.
We're seeing that. We're seeing it with Ghanaian products.
It's
And
doable.
that's,
Totally
apart from
doable.
all the beautiful conversations we're having about what you can do with a vegan diet, I'm just excited that we're doing with Ghanaian things,
And
you know?
if I could add one thing that really hits me, if you go on WhatsApp or any of these things, you're constantly seeing obituaries for people in their 20s
Young
and
people,
30s.
yeah.
Like, it's crazy. And people are like, oh, I can't make it to this. I have a funeral. And if we just shifted how we eat, we don't have to give up taste. We don't have to give up flavor. We can still support our farmers. And we can eat delicious food and extend our life expectancy. I think it makes all the difference. And so we're excited to help people find out how to do it and enjoy it. Enjoy it the way you all did.
If people want to reach out to you, how
Yes.
do they do that?
Yeah, so they can go to nkwadria.com/challenge. All the challenge information is there. It's a little questionnaire, and you can do it on your own. We're asking people, you know, if you go to one of the restaurants around, take pictures of your food, really enjoy the experience, and let us know how it is. And then we're just sharing the pictures, the videos. There's some prizes. You know, it's no extra cost. It's a free challenge, but because it's really
fun,
just about
you
exposing.
know?
Exactly. It's like because people act like it has to be serious. Trust me, we have fun. And we are foodies. We are foodies. So if you ever thought you could not be a foodie and be vegan, yes,
Then-
now you know. Now you know.
So it's nkwadria.com/challenge.
I got to work on my treat.
No, it's okay. I mean, I think
I'm
you said
the
it all
treat
right.
speaker
I
between
understood
us.
what you said, so
Yeah.
I'm
All
on
right.
your mom
Just a-
Ghanaian.
Oh no, she's not Ghanaian,
No?
but she's been in Ghana for a long time.
But her father is like one of the foremost tree speaking experts and teaches trees, which is why I have to learn.
Oh,
So
that's
she can say.
interesting.
Go ahead. I'm gonna let you say some trees.
My within the Ama Kambon, my
Wow.
Fear Dunai.
Hey, hello. All right.
Adrian,
I like it.
so the
I like it.
Beautiful.
All right.
Just to add to the challenge part,
Yes, go ahead.
I was gonna say that a lot, like we said earlier, a lot of people in general don't understand healthy eating. They're like, oh, this is a scary thing. But I feel like once we understand it, once we understand the goals behind it, that we're just adding stuff, we can just, you're not taking
You're not
anything
losing
away.
anything.
Right,
You're just
right,
adding goodness.
You're just adding
Right.
goodness. Some people may want to pull back from the meat, but they could just do that in moderation. And it's always good to just try.
Yeah.
Just try.
Just try.
And like you said,
like it.
you love the consumer,
Yes.
you love the tofu.
Yeah.
It's good. It's delicious food. You're not
Yeah, it's fantastic. Thank
you're not inconveniencing yourself.
you. So
You're
this-
not
if you-
inconveniencing
Yeah, exactly. We'll be speaking with Amma and Nataki Kambon. They are both vegans, lifelong vegans, and really sharing with us this fantastic experience of all the different dishes that you can do. Things that you love to have at home when you go out, you love to have, and you can have it in a vegan version that is healthier, it's natural, it's organic, and it has all the goodness and full of spice and life. I mean, when you taste it, it's just like real goodness. All right. So again, you can go over to nkwa.com/challenge to participate. And the World Vegan Day is November 1st. Thank you very much to both of you again.
And people can celebrate it all month. They can take the challenge and do it all month.
All right.
We're doing this.
Yes, we are.
Doing this.
Yeah. All right, we'll take a quick break. Don't go anywhere. Breakfast Daily will continue shortly.